Morning, students. Today we will study science, and in science we will study the particular topic that will be particular subject that will be physics. And in physics we will study reflection of light. Basically, we will cover important topics which are frequently asked in your exam, so that it will help you in maximizing your marks. Okay, so that you can get maximum marks. Okay, these are repeated topics which are asked again and again in exam. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so we will start with the reflection of light. Okay, so first, basically, what is the reflection that we will see? That what is reflection? Reflection बोल सकते हैं क्या कोई भी चीज any shiny surface which reflects a ray of light is basically a reflection. That if I in you can say this is a mirror. If I send one light from here, then it will reflect it to this side. Okay, this will be reflection. Okay, here angle of I will be angle of basically angle of incident ray is equal to the angle of reflected ray, and this is incident ray. This is reflected ray. Okay, and after that we will study the what are the types of mirror. Okay, basically first we will see this is also a first law of reflection. First law. And second law is that all the that incident ray, reflected ray, and normal all lie in the same thing. Lie in a same plane. Okay. After that, there are basically spherical mirrors, and spherical mirrors. There are two types of spherical mirrors specifically. One is convex. This is convex. This is concave mirror. Okay, concave mirror. Okay, so basically, concave mirror is also known as converging mirror. Concave mirror is also known as converging mirror. Convex mirror is also known as diverging mirror. And there are different images which are formed by these images. These mirrors. Okay, so concave mirror. Concave mirror forms real and inverted image. Concave mirror forms real and inverted image, and which is virtual and erect. Virtual and erect. Okay, and these images, this concave mirror is used in torch, headlight, shaving vehicle, shaving mirror, and solar furnace. In all of them, it is used. Okay, and talking about basically convex mirror, it forms an image which is virtual. It always forms virtual, erect, diminished image. Diminished image. Okay, which is used in rear view mirrors. Which is used in rear view mirrors. Now talking about the mirror formula, basically mirror formula, which says 1 by f is equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Here f stands for focal length, focal length. V stand for image distance, and u stands for object distance. And talking about magnification, magnification is basically m is equals to h dash upon h, which is also equals to minus v by u. So to calculate magnification, we can use both of these formulas. Okay, Next is basically reflection of light. Next is reflection of light. Reflection of light. So in basically reflection, there is a change in medium takes place. Okay. So it will always be in two mediums. Like for example, okay, you take an example. Like if I incident a ray, this will be incident ray, and if it will pass through normal, this is basically normal. This will be basically normal. If this ray will be ray will, if they this ray will go through here, it should go like this straight, but it will not go like this. It will bend because there is a change in medium. This medium is air, this is water, and this is air. When there will be a change in medium, the ray will bend. Where it will bend, either it will bend towards normal or either it will bend away from normal. Okay. And if again here it will come like this, and again it will bend away, away from normal. Okay, it was towards normal, then now it will bend away from normal. This will be emergent angle. This will be emergent angle. Here it will be incident angle. Okay. Now we should remember that where it will bend and how. Now see, to remember this, we study two draw. If ray is going from denser to rarer, it will bend away from normal. It will bend away from normal. And if same ray is going, and the speed of ray will be fast. Okay. If ray is going from denser to rarer, now if from rarer to denser, then it will bend towards normal. Then it will bend towards normal and its speed will be slow. Okay. So you can remember by this. Okay. Again, there are two laws of reflection here. First one is angle of sine of incident ray to the sine of reflected ray is always constant. This is basically also known as Snell's law. Second one is incident ray, incident ray, reflected ray, reflected ray, and normal lie in same plane. Lie in same plane. Okay. Now talking about the lenses. Okay, basically, first we will talk about convex lens, which is also known as diverging lens. Convex lens is basically, sorry, not diverging, it is converging lens. Okay. So how it looks like is this is how it looks like concave lens. Okay. It is basically thick in middle and it forms real and virtual image. Talking about convex, concave, it is basically diverging lens. So it looks like this. It is basically diverging lens and the image formed by this is always virtual, always virtual, erect and diminished. Talking about lens formula, lens formula it will be 1 minus V minus 1 by U equals to 1 by F. Okay, and magnification is H dash upon H or which is also equal to V by U. Okay, here one more concept is there basically that is power. Power is nothing but it is basically a unit to measure the strength. Okay, so like how we calculate the power in the case of lenses is basically power is calculated in this way or depending upon the for concave convex it is positive positive, for concave it is negative as the focal length is negative, so the power is negative. Okay, and if there are many lens if there are many lenses and if we have to calculate the power of all, then it will be cumulative of all. Okay, just a minute, we'll ease this one. Just wait for 2 minutes. Now we will solve some questions based on physics, chemistry, and biology. Okay. So the first question is the SI unit for measuring work and energy is basically what is the SI unit for measuring? So SI unit for measuring work and energy is same because energy and work are mostly same. So the SI unit is also same for them. That is basically joule. Okay. When a body is accelerated, then the velocity will also be. If the acceleration of any body is increased, then the velocity will also be increased. If acceleration is decreased, then velocity will also be decreased. Okay, so here it will increase. Which of the following is vector quantity? Okay, so basically, what are vector quantities? The quantities which have both direction and magnitude. The quantities which have both direction and magnitude are basically the vector quantities. And what the scalar quantity is, the quantities which have only magnitude are basically scalar. So here area will be the vector quantity. Angle of friction and angle of repose are basically angle of friction and angle of repose are both equal to each other. This is basically a part chapter in friction where angle of friction will always be angle of repose. जितना friction लगेगा उतना ही क्या है angle of repose लगेगा. When a running car stops suddenly, the passenger tend to lean forward because of inertia of motion. This will be because of inertia of motion. Rocket works on the principle of Rocket works on the principle of Newton's third law. What Newton's third law says basically to every object there is equal and opposite reaction. Okay, and first law is basically if we apply and force to any object which is in moving, then it will continue to be in move. मतलब किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर फोर्स तब तक लगाना है जब तक क्या है वो मूव ना हो. ठीक है ना, किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट पर फोर्स लगाओगे तो ही क्या है वो मूव करेगी. ठीक है. सेकंड लॉ इज रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम. Okay, Archimedes principle is basically buoyant force. Okay, we slip on a muddy road due to excess of friction. Okay, we slip on muddy road due to excess of friction. No. Due to relative velocity. No. Due to gravitational force. No. We basically slip due to the lack of friction because there is no friction in there. Okay, the quantity of weight is measured by the quantity of weight is measured by basically common balance or spring balance. We with spring balance by hanging something or putting weight, we can measure the spring balance. Okay. Who indirectly determined the mass of electron by measuring the charge of electron was basically the Millikan. He did the basically the oil experiment. Okay, so with that he measured. Which of the following waves have the longest wavelength? सबसे ज्यादा wavelength कितनी होती है? Is basically red. Okay, so how you can remember it by basically एक तो होता है विबग्योर. क्या होता है? विबग्योर होता है. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, इसकी वेवलेंथ क्या होती है? सबसे ज्यादा होती है, मैक्सिमम होती है. और सबसे कम किसकी होती है? इसकी कम होती है. इसका क्या होता है बेसिकली? लेमडा ज्यादा होता है. लेमडा मतलब सॉरी फ्रीक्वेंसी. इसका लेमडा क्या होगा? कम होगा. ठीक है. मटेरियल्स फॉर रेन प्रूफ कोट्स एंड टेंट्स ओ देयर वाटर प्रूफ प्रॉपर्टीज टू इट विल बी बेसिकली surface tension. Okay, materials for rain proof coats tents owe their waterproof properties to surface tension. Water from oil enters into the root. It is through basically capillary action. जो भी पानी एंटर करता है रूट्स के थ्रू, वो किसके थ्रू करता है? कैपिलरी एक्शन के. और किस किस चीज में बेसिकली कैपिलरी एक्शन लगता है, तो वो क्या है बेसिकली, जिसमें भी जो हमारे पेन्स वगैरह होते हैं ना, उसमें क्या है बेसिकली कैपिलरी एक्शन लगता है। जैसे बॉल पेन, बॉल पेंट हो गया, बॉल पॉइंट हो गया, बॉल पॉइंट पेन, ये क्या है बेसिकली, इसमें कैपिलरी एक्शन लगता है। A liquid drop tend to assume a spherical shape। spherical shape लेता है, ये किसकी वजह से होता है बेसिकली, सरफेस टेंशन की वजह से होता है। किसकी वजह से होता है, सरफेस टेंशन की वजह से होता है। मैग्नेटिक परमेबिलिटी की यूनिट क्या होती है, इज बेसिकली हेनरी मीटर। द यूनिट ऑफ मैग्नेटिक परमेबिलिटी इज हेनरी मीटर। द अमाउंट ऑफ मैटर इन अ बॉल ऑफ स्टील इज इट्स बेसिकली मास। ओके, जितना उसमें मैटर होगा उतना ही उसका क्या होगा, मास होगा। इन विच मीडियम वेलोसिटी ऑफ साउंड इज मैक्सिमम। तो साउंड किसमें सबसे ज्यादा होता है, सॉलिड, लिक्विड एंड गैस। तो सबसे ज्यादा किसमें आएगा, मेटल्स। ठीक है। डेसिबल इज, डेसिबल किसकी यूनिट होती है, साउंड की होती है। एक्सरेज आर बेसिकली, एक्सरेज आर बेसिकली इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स। एक्सरेज आर ईएम वेव्स। इंस्ट्रूमेंट वाइब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग को मेजर करने के लिए क्या यूज करते हैं, सोनोमीटर यूज करते हैं। क्या यूज करते हैं, सोनोमीटर। इफ इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी इंक्रीजेस विद द इंक्रीज ऑफ टेम्परेचर ऑफ अ सब्सटेंस देन इट इज कंडक्टर, देन इट इज कंडक्टर। और इफ इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी देन इट विल बी बेसिकली सेमीकंडक्टर, जो कि क्या है, दोनों दोनों की तरह काम करता है। व्हाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल डिस्टेंस, तो उसकी क्या होती है, आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग होती है। क्या होती है, आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग होती है। ओके। A jet engine works on the principle of conservation of linear momentum. It works on the principle of conservation of energy mass. No, this is basically astronomical unit light year होती है for distance. Principle of conservation of mass work on linear momentum. The one that is good conductor of electricity in the following list is basically graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Ohm's law defines that both current, Ohm's law defines both current and voltage. The blue color water in the sea is due to basically scattering of light by water molecules or by absorption of other colors except blue by water molecules. It will be absorption of other colors except blue by water molecules. Okay, by inserting a soft iron piece to solenoid, the strength of magnetic field basically increases. Okay, all the magnetic material lose their magnetic properties when strongly heated. When strongly heated, they will lose their magnetic properties. The half-life period of a radioactive substance, okay, you can, it will not come. Alpha particle is the nucleus of an atom of helium. It is basically alpha particle of an helium. Unit of radioactivity is Curie. It is Curie. In the nuclear reactor, moderators are used to slow down the neutrons. It is basically used to slow down the neutrons, which is not a radioactive element. Plutonium or zirconium. So basically, zirconium is not a radioactive element. A pure semiconductor has a pure semiconductor has basically the finite resistance which decreases with increase in temperature. What is the scale used for measuring the intensity of earthquake? Intensity is basically measured by Richter scale. It is measured by Richter scale. If a lift is going up with acceleration, the apparent weight of body will always increase. It will basically more than the true weight. It will be more than the true weight. If body is coming down, then it will basically be less than the apparent weight. And if body basically free falls, that if basically lift is broken, then the weight inside will be zero. Okay. A man is standing at a platform. Reading of spring balance is 60 kg. If man jumps out of platform, then the spring reading will be, then the reading will basically first increase, then will then it will decrease to zero. The Fahrenheit and Celsius agree to basically, then the both will basically at 40. No, it is not 40, it is minus 40. Okay. Metabolism is the name of a process in which energy transformation takes place within human body. The specifically designed semiconductor diodes used as fast conducting electronic circuits are light emitting diodes or solar. The specific it is solar cells. Gamma DDT bleaching powder are important compounds of basically chlorine. Which of the following was first human made plastic? It was basically celluloid. Presence of cobalt in vitamin B12 was established for first time by basically it was established by Bexa's bead test. Iodine can be separated from a mixture of basically by basically it can be separated by sublimation. Sublimation में क्या होता है basically a substance which is of solid can be converted into gas. Sublimation. Glass is super cooled liquid. Glass is basically super cooled liquid. Atomic theory was given by Dalton. The three basic components of an atom are proton, neutron, and electron. Matter waves are basically van der Waal de Broglie waves. The bond which is present between water molecules is hydrogen bond. The process by which milk is converted into curd is basically known as pasteurization. It is known as pasteurization. It is not pasteurization. It is basically fermentation. Fermentation, or the bacteria which do it is basically known as lactobacillus. Who are among the following is covalent? So basically, carbon tetrafluoride is only covalent. Others are basically ionic or other. Mark the compound which possesses ionic or coordinate bond. So in this, basically, this one is possesses ionic and coordinate. Cosmetic powders are prepared from basically serpentine. pH of milk is 6 when it turns sours. It becomes greater than greater than 6 S. The acid in gastric juice is basically HCl. Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid. Aquaresia is basically mixture of HNO3 and HCl. Cloud is a colloidal dispersion of fog in dispersion medium of water. Highly reactive metals are found in combined state in nature. The natural state containing metal in combined form are known as minerals. A mineral is called ore if a metal can profitably extracted from it, which is a natural colloid. Natural colloid is basically lead. Lead is natural colloid. The gas used in refrigerator is basically cool down when expand. Heating of an ore below its melting point in the absence of air is known as basically calcination. When water itself combined chemically with some element or mineral, it is called hydration. Preparation of डालडा और वनस्पति घी इसमें बेसिकली क्या लगता है डालडा और वनस्पति घी प्रिपेयर करने में हाइड्रोजनेशन which of the following is used to restore the color of old oil paintings ओल्ड ऑयल पेंटिंग्स का कलर कौन वो करता है बेसिकली? सोडियम पेरोक्साइड। ट्रीटियम इज एन आइसोटॉप ऑफ। ट्रीटियम किसका आइसोटॉप है? ट्रीटियम इज आइसोटॉप ऑफ हाइड्रोजन। Which chemical was an important symbol in our struggle for freedom? NaCl. Which one of the following is chemical formula for gypsum? जिप्सम का क्या फॉर्मूला होता है? CaSO4 इंटू 2H2O। प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस का क्या होता है? CaSO4 इंटू हाफ H2O। ब्लू वाटर का क्या होता है? CaSO4 5H2O। वॉशिंग सोडा का क्या होता है? CaSO4 इंटू 10H2O। ओके। ब्लीचिंग पाउडर का क्या होता है? CaO Cl2। ठीक है, याद रखना ही। विच ऑन Which on the following used in metal in firecrocks is basically magnesium. CFL contain mercury. Which of the following man-made sources has major contribution in mercury pollution in India is basically coal-fired power plant. Which on the following is used in welding broken pieces of iron rails and it is basically aluminium powder. Teeth and both acquire strength and result is that they are basically due to fluoride. Steel is more elastic than rubber because it steel is more elastic than rubber. स्ट्रेंथ किसकी वजह से होता है इसका? कैल्शियम की वजह से होता है। Require large deforming force. The percentage of lead in pencil is basically 0%. The presence of cobalt in vitamin B12 was established for the first time by अभी बताया था ऊपर बोरेक्स बी टेस्ट. Which allotrope of carbon is 3D structure? Diamond. The highest volume of gas in lower atmosphere is comprised of basically nitrogen. Which one of the following is used as anesthetic? N2O. In deep sea diving, the divers use a mixture of gases consisting of oxygen and nitrogen. हीलियम होता है। सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड ब्लीच कलर्स मैटर बाय डिहाइड्रेशन। जो द फॉलोइंग डज नॉट हैव नर्वस सिस्टम इज बेसिकली अमोइबा। द फॉलोइंग पेयर्स हैज ओपन टाइप ऑफ सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम। ओपन टाइप ऑफ सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम होता है कॉकरोच और सिल्वर फिश के पास। ठीक है। नेक्स्ट इज बेसिकली सिटेलम इज फाउंड इन सिटेलम इज फाउंड इन earthworm. The scavengers of earth are basically scavengers of earth are bacteria. Five kingdom classification was given by Whittaker. Animals with chitinous exoskeleton are insects. Medicine for epilepsy formed with the help of Lichen. Which organelle is also called director of the cell? Nucleus. Respiratory tract has pseudostratified epithelium. Through photosynthesis, green plants generate organic materials. The only plant cells without nuclei among the following are basically cambium cells. Which of the following is not obtained from stem? Is basically cotton. The gas used for artificial ripening of is basically ethylene. कौन सी होती है ethylene. The type of root formed in beetle vine is climbing root. Chlorophyll is porphyrin containing magnesium. In respiration, diffusion of O2 and CO2 occurs across alveolar membranes. What would happen if human blood becomes acidic? Oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin is decreased. Filtration unit of kidney is nephron. Blood coming out of liver has high concentration of urea. Which part of brain controls five movements, maintaining balance and equilibrium of the body and muscle tone in a human being? Is basically cerebellum. Blood pressure is controlled by adrenaline. Retina of eye is analogous to which part of the camera? Film. Doctor born to hemophilic father and normal mother could be. Daughter born to hemophilic father and normal mother could be carrier. The sex of a newborn baby is determined by the chromosome inherited from father because father gives Y chromosome. Poisonous glands of snakes are homologous to salivary glands of vertebrates. DNA differ from RNA in having nitrogenous base, which is thymine. Which of the following is spread by housefly? Cholera. The casual organism, the casual organism of polio is virus. Breakdown fever is dengue. Myopia is a disease connected with eyes. Rabies is a basically viral disease. Greenhouse effect is heating up of the Earth's atmosphere, which is due to UV rays. Bhopal gas tragedy is related to methyl isocyanate. In a polluted unit, the factor most influencing the cost is the cost of feed. The following crop combination is not adopted in mixed cropping in India is rice and groundnut. Pulses are good source of protein. Phloem is tissue found in plant. Plant in what is the average life of 100 to 120 days? Which of the following disease is caused by deficiency of nicotine acid? Nicotinic, nicotinic acid is pellagra. What fraction of human blood is plasma? 55%. Cobalt is a component of which of the following vitamins? विटामिन B12। फोटोसिंथेसिस के थ्रू क्या होता है बेसिकली, वी जनरेट बेसिकली ऑर्गेनिक मटेरियल, विच लाइम यूसेज ड्रॉप ऑन बेकिंग सोडा प्रेस के फेफर हाइड्रोजन गैस निकलता है। नहीं नहीं, CO2। An electric heater kept in vacuum is heated continuously by passing electric current. Its temperature will constant after some time because of loss of heat due to radiation. Mud houses are cooler in summer and warmer in because mud is a bad conductor of heat. Aquarisia, citric acid is citric acid किसमें होता है? खट्टी चीजों में, बेसिकली लेमन में होगा। The solution in test tubes containing H2O and aqueous NaOH can be differentiated with the help of red litmus. Which one among the following is covalent compound? Carbon tetrachloride. Which of the following cytoplasmic aeronegal are treated as prokaryotic mitochondria? Auxiliary word develops into which of the following parts of is basically lunch. Xylem helps in transport of nutrients. So the following is the largest gland, basically liver. On which principle did the hydraulic lift? Pascal law. At what temperature दोनों बराबर होते हैं? Is basically -14 MIC, or what does I stands for is? What is the process of conversion of solid state sublimation होता है? Blue vitriol is copper sulfate. Agriculture commodities are graded with AG mark, which is the second nearest star to the Earth after Sun. It is basically Proxima Centauri, which is an extra constitutional body is Planning Commission. Velocity of a man in a steady water is 4.5. Velocity of stream is इतना होगा, तो अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में तो क्या हो जाएंगे, दोनों ऐड हो जाएंगे। क्या हो जाएंगे? ऐड हो जाएंगे, दोनों को ऐड करके कितना आएगा? एवरेज पूछा है, तो एवरेज क्या होगा बेसिकली? ऐड किया तो कितना आएगा? 6। और सब्ट्रैक्ट किया तो 3। दोनों का एवरेज 4.5 के समथिंग आएगा। भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी में कौन सी गैस थी? मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड। ठीक है। बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट कैन यूजुअली बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू यूजफुल वेस्ट विद द हेल्प ऑफ बैक्टीरिया। कैडमियम पॉलिनेशन इज एसोसिएटेड विद, कैडमियम बेसिकली होता है किससे? इथाई इथाई। आर्टिफिशियल रेन इज प्रोड्यूस बाय सीडिंग क्लाउड्स विद पोटेशियम नाइट्रेट और सिल्वर आयोडाइड। सिल्वर आयोडाइड। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग एक्सप्लेन्स द ऑकरेंस ऑफ सोलर इक्लिप्स? तो बेसिकली क्या बताता है? ये पोजीशन बताता है किसकी, मून और सन अर्थ की दोनों की पोजीशन कैसे होती है। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग soil is most conducive to the growth of cotton is black soil. Heavy water is called heavy because it is heavier isotope of hydrogen. Animals active at night are called nocturnal. Natural radioactivity was discovered by Henry Becquerel. Sir C.V. Raman was awarded Nobel Prize for scattering. In which atmosphere layer was communication satellite located? They are basically located in ionosphere, where ions are present. Lines joining equal temperature are basically isotherms. Which among the following is India's first long-range subsonic cruise missile is basically Nirvan. Study of cells is cytology. Entomology, study of insects, or histology, study of tissue is histology. The first Indian to join the ICS was basically Satyendran Tagore. Who was the first Indian to be appointed president of International Court of Justice was basically Nagendra Singh. The first lady governor of independent India was Sarojini Naidu. The first woman judge of Supreme Court of India was basically Fatima Bibi. Which of the following was the first woman chief justice of a high court was Leela Seth. Which of the following is the longest railway platform? Gorakhpur. Sri Ranganath Swami Temple, the largest temple in India, is located in Tamil Nadu. The first fully Indian bank is Punjab National. Which of the following is called Blue Mountains? Is basically Nilgiris. This Nilgiri is spread in three states. The first national park established in India was Corbett, which is basically also known as Jim Corbett. It is in Uttarakhand. The highest rock and earth fill dam in India is Tehri Dam. Gol Gumbaz, one of the largest dome in India, is located in Bijapur. Faizabad is the old name of which of the following cities is basically it is the old name of Ayodhya. Change name of Allahabad is Prayagraj. Which of the following is not a World Heritage Site? So Bhopal city is not a World Heritage Site. Pink City is Jaipur. Which of the following historic cities has been announced as a World Heritage Site in India? Udaipur or Ahmedabad? Ahmedabad. Which place is called Manchester of India is Ahmedabad. Jamshedpur is also known as City of Steel, Steel City. Which of the following is the largest man-made lake? Is Sambar Lake. The first person to travel twice to space is Charles Simeoni. The first person to reach South Pole was Amundsen. Largest freshwater lake in water largest freshwater lake in the world is Superior. First country to appoint Lokpal was Sweden. Which among the following is the first country to impose carbon tax? New Zealand. New Zealand was the first country which imposed the carbon tax. Which of the following river makes largest delta of the world? Is basically Ganga. The largest man-made canal in the world is Suez Canal. Suez Canal it was built by Suez Canal is a man-made canal. Largest country by area is Russia. Which of the following is called as tallest statue? It is Statue of Unity, Gujarat. First country to issue paper currency is China. First country to launch artificial satellites in the first country to launch artificial satellites in the space was Russia. Okay. First spacecraft to reach on Mars was Columbia. Okay, Columbia or Viking one. Viking one was the first aircraft which reached. Which is the highest located airport in the world? Highest airport located in the world is Daocheng Yading, Tibet. Which is the deepest ocean? Is basically Pacific. Largest country of Asia in terms of area is Russia. Largest river of Africa is Nile. City of rising sun is Japan, which is known as the land of midnight sun is also Japan. It is Norway, sorry. Yen is the currency of Japan. Berlin is the capital of Germany. Euro is not currency of Switzerland. Amman is the capital of Jordan. The currency of Myanmar is known as Rupiah. It is known as Kayat. Lira is the currency of which European country? It is the currency of Italy. Currency of Saudi Arabia is Riyal. The parallel between USA and Canada is 38. The IB between the international border between India and China is McMahon Line. Dispur is the capital of Assam, as well as the capital of Mizoram. Satyamev Jayate has been taken from Mundak Upanishad. Ashok Stam of Ashok Stam of which place adopted? It is basically adopted from Sarnath. One of the seven wonders of the world, Machu Picchu is located in Machu Picchu is located in Peru. In the Parliament of Japan, it is known as Duma. National Parliament is the parliament of which of the following? National Parliament is the parliament of which of the following? It is the parliament of basically Bangladesh. Premchand is the pen name of Premchand is the paid name of Dhanpat Rai Srivastava. National Voters Day is on 25th Jan. Yoga Divas is on 21st June. Which of the following is not guide is not written by Munshi Premchand? Mother Teresa's area of work was basically charity. Who is the author of the book The Time Machine? H.G. Wells. Who is known as Iron Man of India? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Which of the following has been written by Vikram Sheth? Is A Suitable Boy? A Voice for Freedom is book written by Benjamin Bhutto or Nayantara Sehgal. The famous book Meghdut is written by Kalidas. When was UN formed? It was formed in basically after or before the World War. It was formed during the time of World War, basically in 1945. Who was the first General of UN? Was Tregbilai. Where is the headquarter of International Monetary Fund? It is in Washington DC. Which day is observed by Human Rights Day? 10th December. Which organization promotes children welfare? UNICEF. The headquarter of UNICEF is located in New York. This we will continue in next class. Thank you for the session.